Oh god. Why did it change the audio quality? Stop. Okay. Nope, we're not having music. Okay. Sequoia, you can go fuck yourself if you're gonna start with that water bullshit. I do not have the fucking patience for your shit right now. I don't do water. We already know this. Well, hello, welcome in, Bladen TV. Hello, welcome in, welcome in. You come in for me talking about my trip I just went on to see my lovely partner, who is actually in our in chat right now. That is Traden. I love them so much. And I forgot I don't have an audio capture for this for music. Oh, you know Baps. Oh, hi. Hello, hello. Trying to remember what the the inputs are called for music. I think this. I think it's in. Yeah, I think it's input. Can't fucking remember. Hold on. Trying starting soon so I can figure out what the fuck this is called. What are you called? What are you? I do not remember what those are called. Shit. Why am I here? That is not where I wanted to be. Sorry, I'm all over the place. My bad. I just don't want to be sitting here in silence while I talk, and I'm trying. Hi, Kimi. Um, I think it's imp. What is it? I can't remember what it's called. When you when you're capturing just like audio. I haven't had to set this up in so long. This is painful. Is it input? I can't fucking remember, and it's not telling me. Ow! Does anyone remember? Mm, I think it's this. Yep, it is. An existing background. Okay. Background music. Right? Why is it not coming up in my audio mixer? Hello? Hello? Why is it not popping up? Nope, that's not it. Why can't I get it? It's not working. I don't know what I'm doing. Why is it not showing up? Okay, it's definitely not that. Okay. You it. No. Are you it? Yes. Okay. Found it. There we go. Sorry, my bad. Just trying to find a way to be able this screen. Oh my god, it's terrible for me. It was so bad for me for a second. Anyways, um, so, hi everybody. Hello. Hand tracking. There we go. Good God. Hi. Hello, everybody. Hi. Let me know if the music's too loud or not. I don't normally have, or if I'm too loud or anything like that. I'm usually not having music playing on here. Um, Usually because I'm only on here for a really short bit. Um, this is also, uh, a lot of this music is also from my TikTok playlist, so like, it's gonna be all over the place. But anyways, why don't we just get into this? Um, so for people who might not be as active in my community or anything like that, I was in Britain last week, with my lovely partner. Also, I will say I'm recording this. Like, this isn't gonna get edited or anything, but this is being recorded. So I'll be posting this on YouTube as well. So don't stress yourself out with staying around. Um, but um, this, but like again, I was in Britain for a week, and while I was there, I got to see my partner in person, which was absolutely super fun. Also, my hand tracking broke. That's wonderful. You guys are gonna get to see some weird shit, weird lines. There we go. That should fix the hand calibration, and I forgot to get rid of the lines. Whoops. Yeah, this is all kinds of scuff, isn't it? We love that. There we go. Yeah, there we go. It's a little finicky, but hey, yay! At least I have it. Peachy, no! Oh no, Peachy! Anyways, sorry, I'm all over the place and a little distracted. My bad. Um, but I went over there. The flight to Britain wasn't too bad, even though I flew during like the FAA's whole uh big thing with like, hey, we're canceling like 10% of flights at the time, like that whole thing towards the end of the government shutdown. Uh, and everybody was like, all of my friends and like my families for that were like, oh, aren't you scared that your flight's gonna get canceled? And going up to it and like leading up to it, I'm like, no, I'm not. I found it more funny that everybody else was more anxious about me flying than I was about flying, at least at first. Like all of the travel and going to a whole new country by myself. So many people were more scared for me than I was scared for myself. um, so I managed to get through all of my flights. It was really interesting. Flying, like traveling for like 22, almost 23 hours. I know you were, love. You were one of the big people who were really, really nervous. But, on my way in, nothing really bad happened. Just 22, almost 23 hours of travel happening all at once, which was really rough because I had a hard time falling asleep. So when I met Trayton, it was a little. I was tired. I was hungry. um, but I had a lot of fun flying. To me, flying is kind of almost similar to a roller coaster, in my opinion. I find it very not dissimilar to like a roller coaster. And a lot of people are like, well, you mean just like take off and landing? I'm like, well, not really. Um, I was really in tune when it came to everything that happened on the plane, so I could feel a lot of the times when we would kind of tilt, which was interesting, and it was kind of fun. Um, but my long flight was interesting. I ended up getting internet. There was internet, so I was able to like communicate with people through like WhatsApp and other stuff like that, so I could talk and message people through IP based messaging. There was a lot of that kind of stuff. Um, that's my mom. My mom also agrees. Um, Also, I'm apparently a weird person who likes turbulence. I find it interesting. Like the little random shakes where you just kind of get discombobulated a little. Though I really quickly learned, most planes are not built for people who are really who are short like me. Um, a lot of the overhead bins I needed help with because they were just a little too tall for me. to be able to like get my backpack into, or let alone get stuff out of it. Um, and a lot of my flights took place at night, so it was a lot of dark flying. So that was also interesting in its own right. Um, the big thing though, like talking about flights, was my flight home. All of my flights home were a mess. So, big story time on that. Uh, there was a whole thing where I flew out of multiple different airports, 4 different airports to be specific. Like I was going through 4 different airports on my way in. I can actually name them because I don't actually live near them, nor did my partner. We had to take a 45-minute train ride to get to it. So like, I started out of Cleveland, edited Chicago, then to Switzerland. I ended up in Switzerland at Zurich, and then I ended up in Gatwick as my final. That was my planned both to and back is what was supposed to happen. That didn't end up happening on the way back. Hi, Babs. Hi. I'm talking about the hellscape that was my return flight home right now, before I get into some of the more fun and happy stories from actually just being there. Also, don't worry if you are still streaming on Irium. Don't worry, this will be posted on YouTube. I am currently recording it right now as well. So don't stress yourself out if you're still live. Yeah, the return shit was rough. So I left out of Gatwick on time. Ah, okay. But yeah, I left out of Gatwick on time. And actually not on time, but we were a little delayed, but it was just because the plane needed to be de-iced. Because Zurich at the time was really cold, so the ice had gotten a little bit of ice, like the plane had got a little bit of ice buildup, and that's not safe. So then after that, I arrived in Zurich at like 10-ish at night, and Zurich Airport has 2 different terminals, and you have to take a train between them. One is clearly for international flights, and then there's one where it is like kind of regional. So I think like all of Europe has one half, and then the other half is like outside of Europe or going to like America or what have you. But the problem is that the one side where you go for international flights was closed when I arrived. And I also only arrived few minutes before the entire airport closed entirely. Luckily for me, I wasn't forced to leave the airport or get a hotel room in the airport, so I was able to just kind of stay out and sleep in the airport itself. Another weird thing about Zurich Airport, they have a weird rule when it comes down to the Wi-Fi. You get 4 hours of free Wi-Fi every 7 hours, but that only starts from the time you log in. So let's say if you log in at 7 hours later, at like 2 p.m., you can get 4 more hours of free Wi-Fi. It like makes no sense. Hello, Norman. Oh, hi, CJ. Hi, hi. Yay, you get to see what I actually look like when I'm moving. Hi, it's nice to see you. From camera side. Hi. Oh God, my hands. Oh Jesus, my hands. My hands are dying. I love my model. My model's so fucking cursed sometimes. You guys are coming in. This will be up on YouTube. Don't worry. If you're late, don't worry. This will be up on YouTube as a YouTube video. It's not gonna be edited, so all of this shit's gonna go into it. So have fun with that. Yay. What are we doing? Hands. Stop it. Stay. I love my hand tracking, I really do, but sometimes, like when I debuted this model, most of my clips were just my tracking breaking. Also, CJ, I do also have that, like, exclamation mark clip stuff that, like, Cameron does, but it doesn't label who does it. It just says, it just loads as me doing it. But I do have that, so if you have anything funny you want to clip, you can't just do exclamation mark clip like CJ does. Like, that CJ, that Cameron does. I haven't streamed in a while. Forgive me. um, but, uh, there's all of that. But my flight's back home. I ended up in Zurich. I slept for like 3 hours in the airport on one of the benches, like seat stuff. I just kind of laid across them and slept for like 3 hours. In the morning, though, I woke up at around 6 in the morning. I looked around, and I'm like, okay, cool. People are coming in. It's reopened. I waited until around 6 to take the tram, like underground train tram thing to the other side, where like everybody like left out of. And then I open up my United Airlines app because I went through United. That's the company I went with. All of a sudden, apparently the app decided to have a scuffed bullshit day. It was like, oh yeah, hey, your reservation, we don't have it. Good luck. Also, your bags aren't checked. So, at 6 in the morning, I call back home, which, mind you, is 6 hours behind the Zurich time zone. Like, the east coast of America is 6 hours behind. So I called back home at midnight. And I am crying. I am a fucking mess. Because I thought I just lost all of my shit. And then I just got stranded in a country where English isn't even the second most spoken language. It is the third most spoken language. And I had no idea what I was doing. So I was going around trying to figure out where my bags were, what I was supposed to do, and people were struggling to understand me. And I was trying to talk as clearly as I could while I'm literally walking around, tears streaming down my face, sniffling everything. All while I'm on the phone with my aunt. and and I find out for some reason that Zurich Airport's lost and found. Is it on the grounds of the airport for some reason? It's off the airport grounds. So there was a high chance that if I had actually lost my stuff and it had gone to lost and found, I would have had to have gone onto a train and left at the airport to go find it. Mind you, at that time I had like 2 hours before I had to board my plane. So I was like freaking out because I don't know how to do a train by myself. And I didn't know where I would be going or anything like that. I had no fucking money. I didn't have a credit card or anything to pay for anything. And like, so there's all of that happening. And then I had to wait. I also had to get like a printed boarding pass. So I had to wait for what is this song? Just move on. That is a weird ass fucking song. I just was like, what the fuck is that? Anyways. Also YouTube, I don't know if you'll hear this song, because it's tech. I don't know if it's being recorded or not properly. I don't know. If it is, that might be a little bit of an issue, but I'm not going for monetization anyways. I don't even get monetized on my YouTube anyways. Not yet, at least. Not big enough. Anyways. So, back on track. I go through all of that. I had to wait for the United, like, desk to open, which didn't open until 7:15 in the morning. So I go over there at 7:15, mind you. I've spent over an hour of me, like, panicking and crying and just being a general mess. And I'm going up to this poor lady, and I'm like, I don't know if I have a reservation. I need to know if my bags are checked. I don't know what I'm doing. And they're like, okay, hold on. speaking of like a really thick, like French accent here. I also kept getting called Madame while I was there, which was interesting. Um, like, go over there, Madame, or please wait here, or something like that. It's really funny that they kept calling me Madame, which I'm not used to, because America, we don't really use that word. Um, but, we come to find out that the airline's app was just deciding to have a fucking stroke. I did have a ticket reservation. I did have my bags checked, and my bags were fine. I didn't get confirmation through United until like another almost hour later, where it's like, oh yeah, hey, yeah, your bags are checked. Good job. And I'm like, really? You fucking bitch. I also got randomly selected for the additional, like, screening, which was the first time I've ever done that. Mind you, this was like the 5th ever flight I had ever gone on. It was insanity. That I got randomly selected so early, but it wasn't too bad. They just took like a weird like, little stick with like a fabric-y kind of paper, touched my hands, my feet. Yeah, so on plane tickets, if you get four S's on your boarding pass, you have to do additional screening, where you have to you go to a separate area, most commonly a private area with like a wall so that you weren't seen, and you get checked for like bone residue or what have you, and your bags get checked again. It's nothing crazy. Um, and it is randomly selected. It's not like you're getting profiled or anything like that, or specific people. It genuinely is just like a, hey, all of these seats, we put the seat numbers in random lottery, you, kind of thing. So it's nothing crazy. And it's not like I was in trouble or anything. It happens for all flights, pretty much, especially international. Yeah. It's generally just security reasons, that's all. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing like scary or anything like that. Um, and it didn't make me late for me boarding my plane or anything. Um, uh, but so I go through that. The guys were really nice, really sweet. Um, eh. Oh, I love this song so much. Uh, but I ended up using music so much on my flight home because God, I needed it. Um, so then I got onto my Zurich flight, and while we were flying, we had medical emergencies. We had about 5 or 6 of them, where like 5 or 6 different people ended up on oxygen, like actual tanks of oxygen on the plane. And so we were flying for about 3-ish hours because we got on at about 10 and we didn't land and get deplaned off in Heathrow, which, for anybody who doesn't know airports, that's back in London. Um, there is we were flying for about 3-ish hours, not fully, but right about 3-ish. I will also preface this, I hadn't eaten yet, other than the time that I ate before I boarded my Gatwick flight at like 2 or 4-ish. Yeah, that's where I called you from, hun. That's where I called you in Discord. We ended up at Heathrow, yeah. Yeah, that's where we got diverted to. I actually left through the Queen's Terminal, specifically. No, that's why I told you when you were like, that's why when you said you need me to pick you up, I'm like, no. No, I'm not at the same airport. No, I'm not. I didn't go into a full circle. I was at Heathrow. Yeah. Uh, we got deplaned at Heathrow. and, um, and so we, we went through and, we had all of that happen. And I hadn't eaten yet. I was gonna try and eat in Zurich before I got onto my flight, But in Zurich, you have to have your boarding pass, and I didn't have that printed until way too close to departure time. So I wasn't able to get food. Oh, baby. I'm sorry. Oh, that's so sweet. But, when we all got deplaned, we had to go through and find out if we have, when we got there, we had to figure out if we had a flight that they could divert us through, or, like, reroute us through. 90% of my flight ended up stuck in London overnight with a hotel voucher. And I started fucking panicking because I promised my family at home that I would not leave any of the airports I ended up in unless it was with my partner or with them, which meant I was only allowed to leave Gatwick and Cleveland Airport. I was not allowed to leave any of the others. And so, I was freaking out. Because they were like, yeah, you have to get on a train, and you have to go to, like, this Hilton hotel. Here's a voucher overnight. You'll have dinner and breakfast through their, food, like, their room service. And I'm like, I can't do the hotel voucher. I can't do that. Mind you, at this time, there was also a guy who was helping me. I will not name drop him, because that's not nice. But there was a nice, very, very nice guy who was guiding me through everything and staying with me, because I was by myself. And so I went through, and I'm like, my final destination's Cleveland. And they're like, hold on, we'll figure this out. Lucky for me, I was in that lucky, very, very small percentage of people who were able to get rerouted back into America that day. I got rerouted to a flight that didn't leave until 4 p.m. To go to, Duluth International Airport, which is also most commonly known as the Washington, D.C. airport, basically. And so I had to wait a bit longer. So I got there, I did that. I also got a, 15-pound, about $20-ish, food voucher as well, which I ended up getting a cappuccino and 3 croissants to eat for that time, because I didn't know what else to eat. And so I went over to my little gate, I ate, was on the internet, I talked with my mom a bit, I, read some of my really fun book I won't talk about necessarily on stream, because it is rather, raunchy. Which is no surprise to anybody who genuinely knows me. But, I read a bunch of that while I was talking with my mom and everything like that. And so I enjoyed all of that. That was really fun for me. And so then I got on my flight. We had a meal. We had 2 meals technically, but I skipped the breakfast one. Or, like, the second one, because, like, it wasn't anything I would eat. So I had to skip it, as sad as that is to say. So when I landed in the Duluth International Airport, I was fucking starving. And it was like 9-ish, almost 10 at night. Luckily, there was an Auntie Anne's in the airport that I could reach. And because I was in America, I could use my fucking card again. Which was amazing. I could use my phone and my card again, which, oh my god, I missed not having to deal with fucking cash. Especially cash that was in, like, something I'm not used to. We'll get to me in the struggle of fucking pounds and pence in a bit. But, so I got myself some pretzel nuggets. You did help, but it was still a struggle. We'll get to that though in a minute. Let me get through my flights first. Cause that was like the actual crazy part. And then we're gonna go to some more of the sweeter moments. And so like, we did all of that, and so I got to eat my nuggets with some cheese. And I talked with, one of my community members as well as fellow friends. Scar, Salvatore. I don't know if any of you guys. I know some of you have seen him around. And I talked with him for a bit, talked about how Thanksgiving tomorrow, how he's coming, what we're doing, what he was making, a few other things. Just a bunch of random little tidbits here about that kind of stuff. And then I got onto my final flight, which was like a little short hour-ish Airbus to Cleveland. I did not land in Cleveland until 11:55 at night. I did not reach my family in the car until about 12:20 to 12:30. We did not get out of Cleveland Airport's arrivals until like 12:50. So, and Cleveland is like a 2-ish hour drive from where I stay, like my apartment. So I did not get back to my apartment and my cat and everything like that until 2:40 in the fucking morning. And I did not manage to be able to actually get to sleep until 3. Like, I was in bed and asleep until 3 in the morning. Thankfully, on Monday, I didn't really have anything except for one thing at 2 in the afternoon, so it wasn't terrible for me. But, like, the whole rerouting and everything like that was absolutely insanity. Like, it wasn't bad. Like, looking back on it, like, I freaked out a lot more than I probably could have, and I probably could have done better. But again, it was the first time I'd had anything go wrong in an airport. So I didn't really know how to handle it. So I was just a bit of a mess. But like that's like the whole crazy amount of like actual travel-based issues we had. Like I at least had. So let's get into some more of the fluffy fun stuff now, instead of all of the hellscape that just was me getting home. So a little bit, another little funny thing that happened on my way in, when I ended up in Gatwick Airport. Mind you, I will state, I was in a Stitch sweatshirt and sweatpants. I was barefaced, no makeup, and a pair of, sneakers. I also am 5'2". I'm not that tall. And so I got stopped by the airport security, claiming that I was, and thinking that I was an unaccompanied minor traveling alone. I obviously am not. I am 23. But they saw short little person walking through airport looking confused. And they were like, hey, how old are you? And I'm like, 23. They're like, oh, okay. Go on, miss. And I'm like, thanks. So I go through. Me and Trayton had a little bit of a miscommunication when it came to where I was supposed to end up and where they were going to pick me up from. So that was a whole nother issue. Calling them in the airport, being like, where are you guys? I'm at the train station. You're not supposed to be at this train station. You're supposed to be at the terminal. When it was I told I was supposed to be at the terminal. I told you before you got here. And like us, and I was going like, oh my god, where are you? Wait, where am I going? Super chaotic all of a sudden out of nowhere. Fucking just absolute chaos. So when we finally met, Trayton here, 6'2", tall guy, much like a foot taller than me. He was great. Fucking just rushes at me and hugs me really, really fast and really hard, to the point that I almost fall on my ass. If it wasn't for the fact that they were able to maintain, like stop their own momentum and wrap their arm around my lower back, I would have ended up on the floor. It was absolutely adorable. Super sweet. But yeah, I literally almost got taken out. As soon as I finished my travel on my way in, I almost got taken the fuck out. And floor. I also learned that my partner is a very nervous laugher. They laugh a lot when they are very nervous and are very giggly. So while we were waiting for the train, any little thing I did just led to absolute giggle fits, which I found was adorable. Um, I gotta shush about this. This is adorable. These are some of the adorable moments. Like at one point, I was shuffling around because we were standing outside and it was cold while we were waiting for the train. And anytime I would like waddle slash shuffle around, they would giggle. It was super fun. And obviously, knowing laughter is a really good way to deal with stress and all that stuff because it releases endorphins and stuff like that. I tried to make sure that they giggled a little bit more, and so I kept going. I also decided to try and bring me a Dr. Pepper, which anybody who's American, I will warn you, their Dr. Pepper and most of their pop, soda, whatever, what you want to call it, tastes like diet, even if it doesn't claim to be diet. It has that weird, stupid aftertaste, and it's not fun. That was something I definitely was not expecting. Like, I knew it would be different. I was not expecting that it would be fully um, like chemically aftertaste. But, eh, what can you do? Uh, so we ended up on the train. I fell asleep on the train again. Then I got back. Like then we got off. I got to go to McDonald's. Fun fact as well. Britain apparently doesn't do ranch as much as America does. So I ended up having to eat less chicken than I normally do, and a lot more burger than I do usually. Um, because I don't really like eating chicken nuggets or chicken without ranch. I managed to do it a few times, which wasn't terrible. Um, and so we went there. Then we got to his house. They had a little sign set up that had hello and then my actual name on like a little coffin sign. Yes, you are. Even though I'm probably coming down near summer, which is probably salad season, so it might be a little bit more available. Also, next time I come, we are going to a fucking pub. I told you multiple times I wanted to go, and we never did. I told your mom that I wanted to go to a pub too. We never did. I really, really, really want to go to a pub and actually experience a true British pub and true British pub food. And I really wanted to do that while I was there the first time, but I'll have to wait till I come again. Um, but that's a good response. uh, but anyways, um, we were they had that sign. I was gonna originally show a lot of my stuff, but for people who want to see what my souvenirs and stuff like that, I might post them on Twitter. I might also post them in my Discord. So if I will post them in my Discord definitely. But so look for those after stream and the recording of them. Um. Anyways, beyond that, uh, I ended up getting like a stitch brush and a few other things, and there was also the gifts that Train here had for me already. There is like a little, which were two things. There was a bracelet that has our first letter initials on it engraved, as well as November's birthstone, because our anniversary is in November. November 17th to be specific, which is why I flew out the time I did. Even though it ended up being a nightmare because I ended up having to miss an entire week's worth of school, which was a whole nother complication. Uh, that ended up being, I probably should change the music now that I think about it, because there's a lot of words in this, and this could be really complicated to actually listen to and understand. I feel bad for people. Hold on. I mean, just chatting normally has just like basic ass fucking music. Hold on. I'm sorry. We're changing some stuff because I want to try and actually have music where it's not like super crazy. Because like everything like this is super. aggressive and stuff like that. And it's just like I feel like this doesn't work as music per se. For at least some of it doesn't. Like some others, some of it does, not all of it. Because a lot of my stuff has like words and like really crazy changes. Um, let's just try and do. Let's just look through some stuff. Sorry for YouTube. This is getting really all over the place, but hey, um, I'm just trying to like find some like. We'll do this then. Just some lo-fi background stuff, I guess. Just because then it's a little less crazy on the background, and it's a little like. There we go. There we go. Yeah. Now then, we're back. My bad. There's a lot. I just like this music's a little much. I might re-record this and just go back over this again, just for a better video, and to avoid possibly any copyright issues. But I'm not sure. I might just post it and say fuck it. And if I have to re-record it, I'll re-record it then. But we had, but so I got there and I got to meet the puppies. Little Obi and little Loki. Those two were absolutely hilarious to be around. Um, and so that was sweet. But I got back, and there was that obviously the bracelet, and there's also a little necklace he got me. That's like a star that is black with like white cracks through it, and it's a stone. I'm not exactly sure if it's like snowflake obsidian or not. I'm not quite sure. It might be, but it also might be granite of some kind. Um, and I also got to hand him the plushie that I have had since July. Um, and it was super sweet seeing his reaction to it. He got so excited seeing this like little squishy werewolf plushie. That was like a plague doctor werewolf plushie. Absolutely adorable to see. And then I basically promptly passed the fuck out for 12 hours. Um, Mostly because I had like basically slept not at all in 22, almost 23 hours. So I really needed sleep. So I slept for a long time when I got a chance. And no, I did not ever experience any amount of jet lag. I attribute that to my absolutely garbage circadian rhythm and the fact that I basically don't have a sleep schedule anyways. Um so that's fun. And like all of that craziness. Then on Monday, we went out shopping. Uh, we went to a few bigger towns. Oh wait, we went to his town first, and we went shopping. And there's a few stores we went to. I ended up getting a ring at the one, and that's where I got to try his local actual like chicken place, like fried chicken place, which was interesting. Really good chicken. The guy behind the counter though, I don't know what the fuck was going on with him. We went to order two of their one meal, or it was like three tenders and fries. And dude did not understand us, even when both of us separately told him we would like two of this. He only gave us one of it, which I was like, really, really. I was kind of a little annoyed at that specifically, because I'm like, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I asked for. I asked for two. Um, but we ended up getting that. I ended up eating it. It was really good. Um, and we just kind of walked around a little bit. Then we went back early. Um, I hung out with puppies a little bit, and then we kind of did just we just kind of hang out in his room for a bit. I also that day learned something that I then proceeded to torment him with the entire rest of the time I was there. I learned my partner is extremely ticklish in multiple places. And the even better part is the sound. Whenever you start going for it, it's very funny because it just goes every time, and it's super cute. I loved it. Made it even more entertaining in general to like keep going and keep doing it. Um, Also, I ended up being able to stay awake and pop into a fellow streamer who I hang out with quite often on Monday and Wednesday nights, which was really fun. I got to introduce my partner to Cameron that night, which was really fun. Cameron with an X on here, which was really, really, really fun. um, yeah, you did. Also, hun, the Galactic Bun Bun cocktail has been made, like, has been balanced and picked out. Zesty finally finished it out. We ended up leaning away from the cream and changed it to a few other things. It's still apple, it's still cinnamon. Um, so it's still like apple cider-y, but there's no cream, like no cream liqueur on it or in it. Um, So it'll still be kind of tart apple cider cinnamon style instead. Um, so we have that. I'm gonna wait a bit because I have in like the past like 2-ish months gotten 2 of my drinks made, so I'm gonna wait until probably next year to get it in. So you're gonna have to be a little patient unless you want to come in, but the problem is that you have to be awake at the time that he does the order, which will be a little tricky due to your time zone. But if you put it in and you're awake during the order time, he'll be able to do it. Because you'll get priority. But, nah, kind of up in the air. But, there, so we did that. Then on Tuesday, we went out to one of the bigger coastal towns. Where we went shopping a little bit. I got to see where he gets all of his tattoos done. Cause he has quite, you have like 6, like 5 or 6 of them, don't you? I can't remember the exact number. I know you've got more than 4, though. I just can't remember if it's 5 or if it's 6 on your right arm. 5! I knew it was over 4, I just didn't know if it was 5 or 6. Yeah, yay. Where he's gotten all 5 of his tattoos on his right arm done. We also went there and we went to a chain shop called Miniso, which was fun. We ended up there multiple times. To be exact, we ended up there like 3 or 4 separate times that day. I ended up getting some Karomi socks. I got another keyboard, a cheaper one. It's not as good as my like really expensive 75%, but I got it purely because trying to play Minecraft on a 75% when it's heavily modded is a nightmare. I will never recommend it. It's not fun when you've got more than like 6 mods. It's just, there's too many keys. There's too many keybinds you have to try and fight with on a tiny little section. We also ended up getting like a Karomi little, a little like bag. I ended up having to also buy some makeup in his town a little bit because I forgot a few things. I also got a Snoopy keychain that day. Trying to remember what else I ended up getting that day. Trying to remember. We also got our promise rings that day. For people who, like, for CJ's seen our promise rings, because I shared those in a different area. We got those at Pandora, which were surprisingly cheap for Pandora jewelry. Was really, really shocked. Yeah, you got a Transformer. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You did get a Transformer. But that's not shocking for you. you literally have like an entire shelf plus some of the. It's like your big collector thing. So it's not super shocking that you got one. Um, and so we went there. We did a little bit of shopping. We walked around, and then we ended up going to the actual like coast. I took a few pictures. I'm not able to show most of the pictures I did take because most of them have either mine or my partner's face in them. So for our own privacy and safety, I will not be able to show those. Sorry, everybody. Um, so we ended up doing that. We got back, and then we had, uh, trying to remember. Then we ate out on Tuesday. On Monday we had Chinese. For our anniversary, we had Chinese food. Which their Chinese chicken, like their breaded chicken for their Chinese place, are they call them chicken balls. What they're basically actually is just a cube of white like breast meat, like just a cube of it, like a decently sized cube, breaded, like rolled in breading and then fried for like fried until cooked, instead of like chicken shapes, which threw me off. Because I was not expecting to be eating fucking giant, like, balls. Balls of, like, chicken and shit. But they tasted good. They even tasted good cold. Because I ate the rest of them cold, because I only had garlic bread on Tuesday night. um, then on Wednesday, we went out to the other coastal town near him. We did a little bit of mini golf, but God, it was so much colder on Wednesday. Like, literally, even in gloves and the full warmish outfit I wore, I was freezing. And so we went mini golfing. He had to dunk his hand in some cold water. Yeah, there was water fucking everywhere. It was a mess. Us trying to play mini golf and trying not to splash each other or splash ourselves with this fucking frigid water. um, well, it's certainly an interesting little tidbit. Um, and so there was that whole thing. We also went to a little arcade. I also went to a little witchcraft store. And I ended up getting a Loki statue. And also some black rune, like a black set of runes, for divination and stuff like that, which was really fun. We even got a little bit of a discount because I knew my shit. um, by this point, I was decently comfortable figuring out what each thing meant, like each coin and what each actual bill meant. At this point, thankfully. Tuesday was a little iffy, and Monday I literally just had to look at Trayton for every single step because I, at that point, had no clue what I was doing yet. Um, but by Wednesday, I pretty much had it down. So we went there. I ended up getting to try Scotch egg on Wednesday. I also do not remember when I tried Battenberg, but I do remember trying it, which was fun. Uh, Battenberg is definitely a little fucking sweet for me, but that's also because it is meant to go with tea and stuff like that, so, you know, whoops. I didn't have tea with it, so I didn't have anything to balance out the just straight up basically sugar in your face. um, so, um, we went there. I got a picture of at least part of the ruined castle at that coastal town. Uh, After that, we then went back home and just kind of hung out again. That trying to remember meals all the time. I will hydrate. Yes, thank you, CJ. I will hydrate. Um, and I can't remember what did we have for dinner on Wednesday. Why can't I not remember what we had for Wednesday? I know pizza was Thursday. I know pizza was Thursday. What did we have on Wednesday? Oh god, I cannot remember what we had for dinner on Wednesday. I genuinely can't. Whoops. But Thursday, we took a day off because my partner has a lot of joint issues, as do I. I also have some hypermobility issues and joint problems and other stuff. We took a day off, and we stayed at the house. We also got to see the big puppies that his family has, which is a big German Shepherd named Decker. I love him so much. He is such he's such a big baby. He acts more like a big golden retriever than a fucking German Shepherd, and I love him for it. He's so like ADHD coded, and it's fucking great. And then I also got to meet the other dog. They all call him Momo. Not his actual name, but I don't think I ever, other than maybe 3 times, actually heard that dog's actual name get called. Everyone just called him Momos. Like, nobody called him Mojo. It was really funny to just hear, like, oh yeah, that's not the, like, I'm like, oh, Momos! It's like, that's, yeah, it was chicken. Yeah, chicken. I love chicken. Chinese takeaway, chicken. Nando's, chicken. Something chicken. Pizza, chicken. God, all I had over there was chicken. It's just chicken. 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 Great from chicken. Chicken. Oh my god, okay. But, wait, no! No, wait, no! No, it was fish! It was fish Wednesday! Wednesday was fish! Wednesday was fish. Because I remember you getting scolded for not putting the fish away in the fridge on Thursday, so I couldn't eat it on Thursday. We didn't have that much fucking chicken. I knew we didn't have that much. Good god. Yeah, no, I had British fish and chips, which I found out I don't hate the taste of British fish, but I also definitely don't exactly enjoy the texture. Um, so there was that. Um, and Friday was just chicken tenders, which I did not exactly enjoy. But so Thursday, back to Thursday, we hung around the house. We had the puppies around for a bit. I got to meet some of his extended family. Then we got to go in a hot tub because my partner has a hot tub, albeit it's in a shed. Which, anytime I tell people that their hot tub's in a shed, they kind of go, "Huh?" It's an inflatable, like an inflatable circle of a hot tub, but it's good. It was nice. It was nice and warm, which was fun. Especially nice to relax in, and also if you shut the door and put the bubbles on, because the hot tub has bubble function, you can turn the shed into a sauna. So that's fun. But we kind of just hung out a lot that day. Watched stuff, kind of talked, laid around, got some rest. And then I helped his mom make pizza, which was really fun. I got to actually learn how to make pizza dough, where I kneaded it and all that stuff, and made it and we made our own personal pizzas. Um, then on Friday, we went to a nearby full castle, which is one of the, if not the only, brick castle that they have. And sadly, there was no tours going on, but I did get to see a peacock, which was really fun. I was definitely not expecting to see a peacock in Britain. That was definitely not something I was expecting to see. But that day, I also got to have British tea with an actual, like, teapot, teacups, and I also got to try a scone. I got to try cheese scone. Albeit, apparently the cheese scone had cinnamon, but neither me nor my partner tasted cinnamon. Albeit, partner's mom was very upset about the cinnamon in the scones, which was an interesting thing. To just all of a sudden be like, why is there cinnamon in the scones? There's not supposed to be cinnamon in the scones. We can refund you. No, it's fine. Just why do you have cinnamon in the scones? It's like, it was really funny to just hear in the background before we left. It was just his mom to be like upset about cinnamon in the scones. I'm like, okay. So we ended up only getting to really walk around the palace grounds, which was interesting. There was a big sundial. There's a few other things. I got to learn a little bit about the area. And then it was pretty much after that, we went back. We didn't really do much on Friday. Friday was kind of just a layabout day, kind of finishing out and relaxing, having fun, and kind of stuff like that. We also did watch a little bit of stuff that night as well. Saturday morning, I woke up early. We're coming to the end of the trip here. To the end of when, like, all of the flight stuff I talked about at the beginning all happened. So I got ready. We got all packed up. And on Thursday, my partner cried. And on Thursday, my partner cried a little bit. Friday, we had a big cry. And Saturday, apparently, there was crying after I left. So we ended up going there, and his mom wanted to get a parting gift. I was also given, at this point, a wrapped Christmas present that I'm not allowed to open until Christmas. So, it is still, and I will say, hon, it is still wrapped. It made it through customs perfectly fine. Nobody opened it. So I still don't know what it is. We went out. I got a coloring book. He got me a Karomi plush. I also got a selenite crystal ball as well, which was really fun. We ended up eating at McDonald's again, just as my final meal before I left out. And then we traveled. We went and got ready to go on the train, and then all that flight stuff happened. That's pretty much a wrap on my trip. It wasn't super crazy, at least not until the dead end when I was trying to get home, but it was definitely really fun being able to actually see and hold and all that stuff. My partner that I have known for 6 years and been actually together with for 5. The family absolutely adored me too, which was really fun. I'm not planning on going much longer. It was just gonna be a quick little run through the story. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm hoping next time I'll be gone longer, and I'll be going in a more summer time-ish area, like end of May, June-ish time frame, instead of the November time. And actually, Taco! What do you mean? What is that? You've actually never been on my actual stream. Wow. You've only ever accidentally been in my chat because of shared chat. Okay. Wow. That hurts a little. But I'm joking anyways. But yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun. I'm excited for whenever I get to be able to fly again and see them again next time. Because, you know... yeah, because I don't stream in a schedule like Baka does. I just gotta throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. If I have motivation, I go. I went to see Trayton. I went to Britain. Also, this has been recorded, so this will go up on YouTube. So if you want to hear the whole, hour of stream, It will be put up on YouTube after this. Um, so I'm not repeating myself because that's the whole reason why I did this way. Because, good fucking god, I'm gonna have to repeat myself enough times tomorrow. I don't need to do it for, like, 40 people online as well. My flights home were a fucking mess, but that was spoken about at the beginning of the stream. In the beginning of the recording. But, yeah. I definitely had fun. I definitely missed the puppies. But, I also missed my cat a lot. And I definitely am glad that I went over and actually got to see them and all that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I wasn't really planning on doing a really long stream. I wasn't planning on doing any gaming. I genuinely didn't even set up like my actual like full setup for like if I want to play games or whatever. I didn't set that up. I'm literally just mouse, mic, headphones, and laptop. That's what I've got set up right now. So I will see you guys maybe before my surgery. If not, you guys will see me next year. I have my tonsillectomy coming up real fast. So hope you guys wish me luck. I might be around after the surgery on the 15th of December. I'm not sure when I'll be coming back onto the internet, if at all, until January. But yeah, I'm curious how it might change how I sound. I'm a little worried about the fact that it might change my singing voice. Um, it might actually make me less raspy. My voice tends to get raspy the longer I talk. And I think it actually has to do with my tonsils, actually. Like, I tend to get, like, gravelly after I talk. So, like, my really long streams or recordings or anything like that, I end up sounding really rough. Like, after 4 hours, I start sounding real fucking rough. So I'm hoping that that goes away. But anyways, thank you guys for coming in and listening to me ramble on a little bit about my trip. Um, Thank you guys on YouTube as well for coming in and watching this. Anybody who did. Um, I don't know next time you guys will see me, but next time you guys will see me, I hope to see you too. Bye guys!